Thank you all for having me. It's an honor to be here. I was asked to kind of do something around playful and human connection online. We're all connected remotely, but we're all in our kind of own physical spaces. And I just thought it'd be interesting to increase that human connection in kind of playful, collaborative ways whilst you're jamming this weekend and beyond. So my first point is about really looking and really listening. This is kind of building what Adam said earlier around, like, it's really great if everyone has your cameras on. I can see you all, we can see each other, and there's different ways you can just kind of signal visually to each other. Like, actually, sometimes you could do a game elimination where you might cover your camera for a minute. Say, okay, now take your cover off your camera if you were born, if your birthday's January to March. Okay, great. And then November or December. Okay, great, thank you. So we'll now be able to see each other again, but this is just a kind of silly little thing you can do. Also, it's really good to encourage positive reinforcement. So often you say to people, okay, is that clear? Give me a thumbs up. And I'll be asking you to do that in an activity in a moment. Also, sometimes high five is good. And just trying to use, kind of really look and listen. You can do silly games where you might turn the cameras off for a minute, come back, change part of your appearance, see if anyone notices, things like this. All these kind of little physical ways of really making sure you're really looking and also seeing what's in the room behind the screen, and also keeping active. It's been great. I've been involved in events where sometimes there's been some chair yoga and things like that, or a scavenger hunt, running away, coming back again, and bringing in the analog wherever you can. Sometimes people find it actually easy to actually say, okay, pick up an object, communicate to me why this object describes how you felt this morning. So I'm picking up like a Barbie, I think it's a Barbie blanket here. You could kind of just, talk through it and say, oh, I woke up and I was in a really good mood because it was sunny and this represents clear sky, for example. Lots of different ways you can kind of bring in the physical. And also when you're prototyping, it's a really good way to make things as much as you can with your hands, not just on the screen. And you can do sketches and upload them onto the Miro board. And finally, just get to know each other in different ways by sharing in different ways. So I'm going to try and demonstrate a couple of these points with you by doing a little exercise. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everyone has the Miro board. Find an area of the board where your birthday, that fits with your birthday. So what I'd like you to do is just find a post-it note on the top row of your relevant area and just write your name. Now I'd like you just to pause for a second, and I'd like you all to think about when you were really small, when you were a small child, what did you want to be when you grew up? So if you could put in the row underneath where you've written your name, if you could add in what you wanted to be, your childhood ambition. You might find that later on during the weekend, especially when it's time to come up with ideas, this might be the very moment where you need to channel your inner, what have we got here? Inner She-Ra, Princess of Power, or your inner Teletubby, or your inner vet. So yeah, please do channel your childhood ambition throughout this weekend. And I'm just going to ask you to do one more thing now. And we're going to do something analog now. What I'm going to do is ask you to take a piece of paper. Hopefully you have a piece of paper or a pen. It could just be a post-it note like this. We're going to do like a self-portrait. Okay. Now, the thing about it is, some people sometimes feel a bit self-conscious about doing self-portraits and things. What I'm actually going to ask you to do is, this is a kind of tactile exercise. I'm going to actually ask you to put the piece of paper on your head and then draw it. Okay? Okay, we've got 1 minute. Ready, steady, go. Now what I'd like you to do, first of all, this is the easy bit, is now everyone share your self-portrait. I'm going to do a screen grab when I do it. Everyone share your self-portrait. Now we're going to bring the physical analog into the digital, okay? The final thing we're going to do, we're going to try and upload our images onto the Miro board. If you can, great. If you can't, don't worry. But let's just see if we can get a few, up here. Brilliant.
And Katie and Claire, Laura.
Great.
Hey, Ariane's got one up.
I love Marina's.
Marina, Paul, Omar. Yeah, they're all coming
and
in now.
Omar. Great.
These are fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm going to I will add mine. and I'm going to leave it there. But it's just to demonstrate how you can, bring the physical in. And I'm going to leave you with my cat picture. Really look and listen, get physical, bring in the analog, and share in different ways. Hopefully I've just demonstrated a couple of those examples. So thank you for having me, and I will be dipping in and out over the weekend too. Thanks very much.